Hi everyone, glad to see you again. So today I will try to introduce a new feature was added before. I think it should be a very interesting feature for you. So, okay, let's see. First, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with RT flow, but from the previous presentation, I assume most of you guys should have used that before. So if you are familiar with RT flow, you know RT flow is something that you can create a rule, the flow rule to hardware. So then hardware will take control of the rules you just flowed. So all the traffic just goes directly and manages directly by hardware, for example. So here, this is an example in test BNB. For example, we just flowed a rule in the root table. Ingress for the traffic match with ETH head, and then IPv4 sources this, and then the expected action will be steering this traffic directly to queue index 2. Okay, this is a very simple rule. So in that case, we can see we are just upload the rule match with some immediate value, right, equals to the immediate values, and if it hits, it just goes to the queue index 2. So this is the general RT flow match. Usually, we just match with the immediate value, it equals. So let's see why we need the comparison and what is comparison. Okay, so generally, RT flow match is done with field equal, like we call equal with specific value. So if user want, for example, but this comes with some disadvantage. Since sometimes user may, for example, if you are using a CT case, so in CT case, for example, first we will receive the TCP SYN packet. And then if everything, the handshake works good, then we will upload the rules to the hardware. In that case, finally, if the connection terminates, we should receive the reset packet. However, since we just upload the 5 tuple, then this SYN packet, finally this reset packet may also be handled by hardware directly. So software will not be able to aware of that. So this is not good. So some of the users said that this is not so convenient. In that case, if you want to also get this reset packet, you need to upload the extra rules, maybe to manage this case. And meanwhile, there is also another case. For example, if you are in some crypto use case, so think about that. Maybe you just want to encrypt the packet with offload. If there's no payload, payload. If there's no payload in the packet, maybe you don't want to do encryption, so you just want to skip that. So in that case, maybe as we all know, in the TCP header and IP header, we have the header line, right? And in the IP header, we also have the packet line. So in case think about that, if we can sum the TCP head and IP head, then just compare that with the length in IP head, then we will understand if they are equal, and that means there is no payload. Okay, so in that case, we don't need to do the crypto for this packet. So this is the two cases we just found. User may be concerned, and user may want to have another way to achieve this. Okay. And meanwhile, there are also some small cases, user also concerns. The only match with immediate value equal to some immediate value may not so flexible to manage the flows. So finally, we try to bring this feature and to allow for the two user cases. Then what this comparison, let's say, what this comparison patch will manage it? Okay, so what this new feature adds to the RT flow is that for now we can support compare with field versus field or field versus immediate value, and You see, so you can specify the field we provide two. Okay, I will introduce the API later, but for now, for measure itself, we have two how to say, the two fields to compare. For example, if you specify A as for example as TCP port or something like that, and then you can, for example, you only want to have the TCP port value bigger than some, greater than some immediate value, or maybe you want to compare the like I talked this. For example, we can sum the TCP headland and IP headland to some register. Then we just compare the IP LAN, IP packet LAN with register to understand if we have payload or not. Okay. And we can also support greater equal and less equal, or this. Yeah. So same like what we have in the shell script. I think it should be pretty similar. Then if the result hits the rule, then it will just execute the expected action we upload with that rule. Okay. And meanwhile, in fact, we can also see that the original, the general IT flow equal with some equal with the immediate value have also been a subset of this measure, comparison measure. So maybe finally, we can implement everything in this comparison measure. So we will not need as how to say, need as the original one. Okay. Let's move to next. So I will introduce the API level. Okay, let's see the API level. What we have. For now, if we want to set the RT flow match item, we will have the item type. For example, if you want to match with IPv4, right? So we will just specify IT flow item, type IPv4, something like that. Then we will have the configuration. In conf, we will specify, for example, if you specify some dedicated IPv4 address, then it equals this address and it will hit. Okay, so for comparison, now we provide, this is the conf we provide. It was called item compare. So in this item compare, you can specify the expected operation, the compare operation you want to have. Okay, like we just showed in previous slide. So you can specify equal, not equal, less than, less equal, greater than, greater equal. All this similar as what we have in shell script. And then, next we need to specify the field data. Okay, this RT flow field data are what same as we have in modify field. Maybe I should also add the RT flow field if you are not familiar with RT flow field data struct. Okay. So in this RT flow field data, you can specify it as some dedicated packet field. For example, Ethernet head type and IPv4 source, IPv6 test, all these stuffs. And that's the same for the B. So A is the field to be compared, and the B is the comparator. Okay. And then maybe you are also interested with the widths you want to compare. For example, you only want to compare the 6 LSB, something like that. So we also provide the width. Then what we need to do is just to set the type as compare, and then the operation you want to fill the fields you want to compare. Okay, and if you want to compare with the immediate value, then just specify the immediate value in this RT flow field data. Okay. Let's move on. Then this is usage and examples. So this is an example with template API for RT flow. Okay, let me try to introduce some background regarding the template API. For now, I'm not sure if you are familiar with the RT flow .c include file or not. We have RT flow rule create function, but we also introduced RT flow pattern template API. So for the template API, I will just give a short introduction. So you need to create the pattern template. Then you also need to create the action template, then create the template table, and all the flow rule should be created with this template rule table. Okay. So let's see what we have done in this example. So in this example, we just create a comparison item. You see, in this we just specify. We just want to compare two tags. The field to be compared are tags. You see, and the tag index 0 and 1. Okay. And yeah, for weights, what we want to compare is the 432 bits. Okay, so then then we just use this item and action. Okay, I didn't add the action. So to add the rules to the hardware. Okay. So if you want to compare with, for example, the IPv4, for example, IPv4 source or dust, you can also just fill this the type here in this field type. Okay. Then I will introduce what malloc5 PMD implements. Okay. Since and how to configure. Since like we just talked, it's in fact it's a much complex API looks like, and it is very flexible. So for now we implemented it for our Connect 7 and Bluefield 3 and above NICs. And we only implement this feature in the template API, and it was not supported on Group 0. And the partial mask is not supported. That means the width for now we only support 32-bit width due to hardware limitation, and 16 only for the RT flow field random if you want to match with compare with random. And due to another hardware limitation, the mix currently we can't mix the item with other items. That for example, that means, for example, you want to offload the rule match with the dedicated IPv4 source address and another comparison result. This is not supported. You can only add the one comparison item in the pattern template. Okay, this is our limitation, not the API limitation. Just to emphasize. And only single rule is supported in the RT in the flow table. Okay, so this is due to think about that. If you offload the two comparison rules, one, for example, the TCP source port greater than, for example, 18 or something like that, then you just offload another rule for want the TCP port ID to be greater than 20. Okay, so then in that case, it will not work. So for now we only support a single rule, in the flow table, and we are not support all the fields. So only a very limited field are be supported as the initial version. Only tag, metadata, ESP, SEQ number, and the random and the value. And if you want to compare for example, the tag with value, then just remember that this immediate value should be set to the B field. Okay. So for now, I think only the malloc5 PMD implement this API, but it's welcome if you guys will also add your PMD to support this side. I think it will be very helpful. Okay, so I think that's it. That's a short topic. Any questions? Yeah.
Thank Thank you, Nathan. Hey, thank you for presenting. I have two small queries. One is on the usage example slide deck. Correct. Here, in that RT flow compare mask, we are giving type A and type B. So, can you explain a little bit with the actual example? Are you saying that is MPLS at the MPLS value or VXLAN value? Is that what A and B stands for?
So what do you mean?
I want to compare, right? So the example VXLAN value 100 is coming. VXLAN.
Yeah, VXLAN.
So let's say the payload is coming with value 100. I just need to compare, is VXLAN greater than 100? I want to compare. Okay. So I can give just A, right? Why do I need to give A and B?
You need to, first, in this A, you need to specify the field as VXLAN.
Correct.
Yeah, then in this B, you need to fill this RT flow field as value, field value. We have field value. Then, yeah, then if it is a value, I assume in the flow, in the field structure, we can specify, we can set the value in, there's a field called value.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. So just the field value.
Okay. So no need of tag index. Directly, I can put value there.
Yeah, okay. Tag is just the example. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in next slide, I think you were mentioning one rule, single rule in the current flow table. Two question here. Two small question. For comparing this, you're using embedded switch of Mellanox hardware. Are you using that?
What hardware?
E-switch inside Mellanox.
No, it is not rich. E-switch. These are totally two different concepts, I think.
Okay, so this is running on a different one. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Okay, thank you.
Hi. Can you go to the previous slide?
Yes.
So in this we have both spec and mask, right? When you're setting items, so we have type, spec, mask, and So why do we need the mask? Because so typically, I mean, for the currently, if you want to just do a regular pattern match, what we do is we'll put the mask so that we can kind of have it as a don't care kind of field, right? So here, what is the usage of mask?
Yeah, good question, very good question. In fact, this is due to the template API defined. So for the template API, when you create a pattern template, for now, we need to have the spec and the mask. So maybe for, like you said, it's okay for comparison. Maybe we don't need the mask. Since it's enough for the spec to indicate everything. But like I talked, it's due to API limitation. We also need to specify the mask. Since for think about that for other cases, for other general match, in fact, we need this field. So that's the reason why it was added here.
Okay, so you do agree that for this specific case, it's not really required, but because we use the template create and all, we'll need the mask, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So I think this is a more generic question. Like when you create the flows to identify IPv4, right? In the first slide, I guess.
This one.
Yeah. So in this case, if IPv4 packet comes, it matches. Let's say a packet comes with also with VLAN. Do we need to create another rule, or this takes care of that?
No, this rule is not suitable for VLAN packet. If you are create the packet, if you want to match the packet with VLAN, then I assume you need to specify the ETH type with VLAN type, and maybe you also need to specify the VNI. Not the VLAN, sorry, VLAN ID, VLAN ID.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Any additional questions? If not, I think we're good. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you.